Year after year, all the sheep at this creamery are sheared and produce quite a volume of wool. But what do you do when you find yourself with a lot of wool and nothing to do with it? Well, for some sheep farmers in Rhode Island, that was both a challenge and an opportunity.
Barbara Thompson has been raising sheep for more than 50 years.
My husband's father had the sheep and some beef cows, and then when we got married, we moved in and carried on.
The Rhode Island sheep farmer can remember a time when wool fetched a pretty good price.
Way back, we could sell it for $1 a pound. This is in the 50s. When there were mills around.
But the demise of many New England textile mills, along with the diminishing price of wool, turned once sought-after fleeces into nothing more than leftover waste.
A lot of it was going to the landfills. People were using it for mulch.
Robin Meek of Valley Duff Farms is a member of the Rhode Island Sheep Cooperative. She, along with Barbara and other farmers like Karla Simmons, decided the answer was to turn that unwanted wool into a highly desired product.
What we determined is that we could make something with this product. It does not have to be a waste product.
Their collaborative efforts sparked investments from the state of Rhode Island to help create new products and new markets. The result, Rhode Warm, one-of-a-kind blankets made from locally grown wool.
I was jumped at the chance thinking, yeah, I can do something with my wool and turn it into something great and another Rhode Island-based product, so I was excited about it.
For Robin, the whole concept of branding their very own blanket took a little getting used to.
We're not marketing people, we're sheep farmers.
And there were production decisions to be made on everything from sheep shearing to wool collection, processing, even the question of blanket design.
We had no idea of how they were going to look or how the pattern was going to look, and it turned out great.
S&D Spinning Mill in nearby Millbury, Massachusetts transformed the raw wool into finished yarn. Sprayed with a specially formulated oil, the wool is loaded into a hopper where the fibers are blended together.
And they're blown down into the holding bins in the back of the carts. They hit a fan that's spun around into the room. It's distributed.
Step by step, the wool is spun, stretched, and twisted to create one continuous strand of yarn. Owner John DEARNLEY says most people have no idea how much work is involved in turning a small patch of colored wool into a usable piece of yarn.
We take a lot of time setting up our machinery, make sure everything is right on the money to produce the kind of quality yarns that the people expect from us.
Armand Garepi operates Richmond Textiles in South Grafton, Massachusetts, where the yarn is woven into fabric using a specially designed blueprint.
So this is sort of your recipe?
That's correct.
For the blanket?
That's correct.
Without this you couldn't even get started, right?
No. You need the customer specs.
Yarn from several bobbins is wound together on a spool, then transferred onto something called a warp beam and mounted on a loom. Plastic punch cards direct the machine on weaving the fabric together. And a machine called a napper uses fine wire teeth to create the final layers of the thick, soft blanket. Rhode Warm's signature label is stitched on for the final touch.
It makes me happy to see that the wool is being used rather than being composted and being made into, a viable, value-added product.
In its first year, Rhode Warm collected 1,400 pounds of wool from some 20 farmers. Wool that became 370 of those one-of-a-kind blankets, most of which, believe it or not, were sold out of Barbara Thompson's living room.
As with any new project, there was a slight bit of hesitation on behalf of many Rhode Island sheep farmers to get involved in the blanket making business, so several of them declined to participate during the first year. However, their minds quickly changed once they saw how discarded wool was being used for profit.
Some farmers didn't want any money for their wool. They just wanted a place to bring their wool that would, use it wisely.
Barbara says the project is designed to encourage consumers looking for local products as well as producers looking for new opportunities.
We're trying to put money back into the sheep raisers' pockets.
That incentive has brought more sheep ranchers on board.
People who were a little bit skeptical about it at first have decided that it's, something that's worthwhile, and have come on board.
And they'll need that support. State funding is not a forever thing, and the co-op will have to move forward on its own. Finding a niche market for a product is a growing trend in agriculture all across the country. And these co-op members hope that reality will spell continued success for their once-forgotten fleeces.
People are very supportive of agriculture in Rhode Island, and they want farm products. The farmers markets are popular, so, you know, we get a lot of support.